everyone, it's Saturday. Welcome to another episode of JPNN. We didn't have an episode yesterday because the news was a little bit, let's say, elsewhere in the world, at least in the US, maybe in the world as well. But we've got gaming news. We kind of got a stacked show. There's a lot going on. Let's just get to it. I'm going to shut up. Here we go. I don't have my teleprompter. Give me my teleprompter. I got it. I found it. It's ready. It's ready. All right, let's start off with some interesting news, to say the least. Several major gaming firms, as I'm fumbling here with my controller. There we go. Several major games and technology firms have come together to form the Metaverse Standards Forum. It's a new group dedicated to setting standards for the growing space of the metaverse. I'm not making this up. Announced on Monday, the Metaverse Standards Forum, models itself on other standards, developing organization such as the World Wide Web Consortium and the Open AR Cloud, as well as the Kronos Group, which is a consortium dedicated to establishing interoperability standards for 3D graphics. I think my editor is just putting big words in here to fuck with me lately. Stop it. From the game space, founding members include Sony Interactive Entertainment, Microsoft, Epic Games, Unity, Meta, and NVIDIA. Reuters notes that it's not Reuters. Is it? I think it is Reuters. I hate this. I hate Yervin. You're pissing me off. What are you doing? Now I can't even think about the word. A group reports and notes that neither Roblox nor Niantic are currently on board, despite the former repositioning itself as a metaverse itself. As the term has become more widely used, as has Fortnite, and what the fuck is this? Is this English? And the latter raising money towards its ambitions to build a real-world metaverse. We stumbled through that, guys. We're gonna get through. It's gonna be a long news day. All right, buckle up. Let's go. Members of the Metaverse Standards Forum will cooperate on defining interoperability standards needed to build the open metaverse, end quote, the group said. Open to any organization at no cost, the forum will focus on pragmatic, action-based projects such as implementation, prototyping, hackathons, plugfest. I love a good plugfest. And open source tooling, as well as I love open source tooling, to accelerate the testing and adoption of metaverse standards, while also developing consistent terminology and develop deployment guidelines. Man, what a story. Just really bumbled that one up. Let's move on to the next one. Don't worry, Square Enix already fucked this one up. During a shareholders 2022 meeting, Square Enix has shared information about future plans for the company, which includes the creation of, quote, story-focused, end quote, NFTs. You with me still? Okay. The report also revealed the extent of the financial success of Final Fantasy XIV. So we got a little bit of good and a little bit of bad. Final Fantasy XIV is up 56% from the previous year. Fantastic. However, Square Enix further revealed its intentions to incorporate NFTs into its business model in some tangible way. This includes the development of, quote, blockchain games and entertainment, and most notably, the production of NFTs that will focus on stories. This goal is included in Square Enix's medium-term strategy. Speaking on the topic of turning Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy into blockchain games, Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda said this, quote, it's still a bit too early to consider making Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy blockchain games, and we're not at that stage of thinking about it yet. Thank that means that they are going to think about it. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't think they do either. Hopefully by then they realize that NFTs have died and there's no reason to mess with them. Just like Ubisoft has. Our next story, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot is foregoing about a third of his annual compensation for the coming year, according to a recent company filing. Poor Yves. Why it matters, though. The unusual move signals just how rough things have been going for Ubisoft. They're bad. Guillemot will forego payment of about 310,000 euros, approximately $327,000 USD. That's a little bit redundant, but hey, that he would otherwise have received over the next year. That will drop his compensation for the next year by a third to approximately 656,000 USD, not counting additional stock rewards that will not be available until after 2023. A Ubisoft rep told Axios.com, quote, "This is a personal decision by Yves Guillemot, which he took considering that the company had not reached the financial targets that had publicly communicated to the markets." The chunk of pay Guillemot is giving up is tied to the company's financial performance, as well as the execution of internal reforms meant to address issues stemming from the company's sexual misconduct scandals that first flared in the summer of 2020. Ubisoft badly missed the financial targets tied to that pay, meaning even if Guillemot had given it up, or hadn't given it up, rather, the variable pay would have been far lower than what was potentially achievable in a good year. Poor Yves. You're just gonna have to not. You can't really get a yacht though with $1 million. I don't know what you can buy with $1 million, but you're not gonna be able to get it, Yves. So you took a pay cut. In a new report, Data.ai said that mobile gaming is on pace to generate over $21.4 billion during Q2 this year. The analytics firm went on to say that the revenue amassed during the quarter is a 30% increase when compared to the same period during Q2 2019. The firm goes on to say that the mobile game spending will make up 65% of all app revenue during the 3-month period. The report also listed the top 5 genres generating consumer revenue during Q2. MMORPG titles are the highest earners, followed by mobiles, 4X games, aka strategy. Those are sitting at third, and Battle Royales sit in fourth place, with action RPGs rounding out the list at fifth in consumer generators of revenue. That makes some sense. I guess Genshin is probably an MMORPG by that. Kind of weird, but I guess it is. Kind of interesting to see BR games sitting at fourth. A little bit of a sign of the times, the fact that people are tired of those fucking things. So stop making them. And if there were any games announced recently, stop it. Stream Elements has reported that its May State of the Stream report with Rainmaker.gg, which is a data-driven service that scales sponsorship opportunities for both brands looking to connect with gamers and the live streamers who have built their audience on sites like Twitch, have said that Twitch and Facebook gaming broke a months-long fall in hours watched. The gains were modest, with less than 2% in Twitch's case and 4% in Facebook gaming's. But they were the first growth either service has seen this year, quote, possibly signaling a new baseline for the current less socially restrictive stage of the pandemic, according to StreamElements.com. Twitch posted 1.81 billion hours watched, while Facebook gaming managed 350 million hours watched in total. Both services were down significantly year over year, with Twitch seeing 2.2 billion hours watched in May 2021 and Facebook gaming topping 400 million hours watched. Obviously, this has everything to do with the pandemic and people believing that it's over and getting out there, going on vacation and watching less Twitch. It is how it is. Okay. That's just what happens. Moving forward. What else do we got? I don't know what just happened. I think my batteries are dying, my remote. Hello? We're back on track. I don't know what just happened. I'm going to blame it on Android, because Android sucks, and that's how you get people to comment on your video. Xbox has once again outsold PlayStation in Japan this past week, a feat it also pulled off last month. According to sales data published by Famitsu, the Xbox Series X sold 3,272 units, while the Xbox Series S sold 3,423 units. This was more than double that of the PlayStation 5, which sold 2,371 standard consoles and 664 digital-only consoles. Rather than suggesting the Xbox console is dominant in the region, however, the figures simply show the continued effect stock shortages are having on sales fluctuations. That makes a lot of sense. For comparison, last week the PS5 sold 12,444 units, while the combined series Xbox Series units sold 6,242 units. What? Do they just have more stock? Like, what the fuck? It seems wild. Let's move on to gaming news. I'll let my editor deal with that in the comments. PlayStation has announced that it's planning to roll out NTSC options for a majority of the classic games offered on the PlayStation Plus Premium and Deluxe plan in Asia, Europe, Middle East, India, South Africa, Australia, and the New Zealand regions. Thankfully, I don't care about that, but I'm sure the people that have been suckered into buying the PlayStation Plus Deluxe stuff will, and they'll be able to actually play their games at not 30 FPS. Or not 50 FPS, I guess. In the latest Halo community update, developer 343 Industries has announced that in the future, it may introduce a purchasable currency to Halo, the Master Chief Collection, in the form of Spartan Point microtransactions. These Spartan Points are renamed season points that exist in the game currently, and they allow players to unlock cosmetics in Halo Master Chief Collection. If implemented, 343 Industries says that these microtransactions would be additive and that they would not affect how players can currently earn points by leveling up and completing in-game challenges. Okay. They just love starting fires over there for people to go crazy about. 343 Industries confirmed that it would have more to share in a future update. I'm sure you will, after people get really upset on the internet about everything I just read. Speaking to Dengeki Online, Naoki Yoshida, aka Yoshi P, claimed that he was worried that the ongoing situation would cast a different light on the content of the most recent trailer for Final Fantasy XVI. The ongoing conflict, of course, is the Russia and Ukrainian conflict. He gave a quote and said, "Actually, it was ready to be released in March, but at the same time, Russia's invasion of Ukraine made the world situation unstable. Since Final Fantasy XVI deals with a rather heavy theme as a story, I wondered if the second trailer was released at this time, it would be truly enjoyable for gamers. When I told Sony Interactive Entertainment about that feeling, Sony Interactive Entertainment was also worried about it, so I decided to postpone the release after thorough discussions." Interesting. 4Gamer.net has published a new interview with FromSoftware president and Elden Ring director Hidetaka. It's not Hidetaka. I don't think that's Hidetaka Miyazaki. Let's just go with Miyazaki from now on, so I don't butcher his name. Who reveals that the unannounced title remaining from the publication's 2018 interview with Miyazaki is in the final stages of development, and that the next title, directed by Miyazaki himself, is already in the works. He didn't state what that means, though. It probably means DLC. Let's check out some of the interview snippets, though. When they interviewed, or it says, when we interviewed you about Sekiro Shadows Die Twice in 2018, you said there were 3.5 development lines underway, 2 of them unannounced. Elden Ring ended up one of the unannounced title, but is the other one still in development? Miyazaki answered, quote, "Yes, development is currently in the final stages." That has to be the DLC, right? Right? It's not like Bloodborne 2 or something. They go on to ask, what are your goals as a director? With Elden Ring wrapped up, is there anything that you want to do in the future or are interested in doing? His answer was, quote, I'm already working on my next title as a director, so I'd like to avoid giving too much away there. In the mid to long term, I would like to work on a more abstract fantasy than anything we've done in the past. Huh. And finally, with Elden Ring settled, what is the state of FromSoftware's game development going forward? They ask. His answer, quote, first off, we're going to continue releasing updates for Elden Ring. Also, as I've mentioned before, we're developing several titles by directors other than myself, in addition to that, the title that I'm directing. But we're not at the stage where I can share any details yet. My apologies, but please give us a little more time. Sounds like maybe the Game Awards, we see some more of that. If not next year or next summer, rather. We'll see. We'll keep eyes open. On June 23rd, former Sega programmer Yuji Naka seems to have confirmed that Michael Jackson did indeed work on the original Sonic the Hedgehog 3 soundtrack, which could explain why it is no longer used in the new re-releases of the game. On Twitter, Yuji Naka reacted to the fact that Sonic 3's soundtrack and the Sonic Origins collection was changed. He then followed up with the, oh my god, the music for Sonic 3 has changed, even though Sega official uses Michael Jackson's music. Later that day, Yuji Naka has somewhat walked back his assertions that Michael Jackson is somehow involved with the music in Sonic 3. The fuck is going on? He wrote, quote, I feel like I'm being misunderstood a lot, probably because I don't speak English and I'm using a translation tool. Sorry. He didn't. So, okay. Anyways, quick, let's distract everyone by talking about Overwatch 2 during a Reddit AMA from the Overwatch 2 development team held on June 22nd. Overwatch 2 game director Aaron Keller was in attendance and fielded some questions, one of which asked what exactly early access meant. More specifically, whether Overwatch 2 would, quote, replace Overwatch's PvP or shut the game down entirely. Keller replied, quote, we're using the term early access to indicate this is just the start of many new things coming to the game. We're launching with new heroes, maps, and features, but there are even more of these coming seasonally, every 9 weeks. They talked about that a little bit when we were watching whatever they put out. The conversation, I think, with IGN maybe is where that was. He goes on and says, quote, we recently released a roadmap detailing some of the content with a new hero coming in Season 1 and 2, and a new map in Season 2. Additionally, larger pieces of the game that have always been a part of the vision for Overwatch 2 will be released to the game as part of the live service, including the launch of the PvE campaign next year. When Overwatch 2 launches on October 4th, it will be a replacement for the current live service. So yes, Overwatch 1 will no longer exist, was the long-winded way of answering the question. And the most recent upcrap, upcraft, I think is what I went to say there. And then I went with upcrap because that sounded funnier. In the Minecraft 1.19.1 update, it addressed the technical issues, some technical issues, as well as how bans will work. For bans, when players experience a problem with another, they can send in a ban request, which must include a valid reason to Mojang. If the ban is approved, the player will be removed from both online servers and realms. Since these bans are irrevocable, players will be limited to single-player mode. Additionally, banned players will now receive a pop-up window indicating their ban as well as providing a reason for it. My editor notes, if you're banned, you're really banned. The new online bans will be able to block you from even private servers. Jeez. That's going to open up a can of worms. A lot of people are going to be pissed, but nothing really changes there. I guess just don't be a shithead on public servers and you won't have to worry about it, maybe. Kind of crazy, though, that they're even affecting private servers with that. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Square Enix has announced that their mobile RPG, Final Fantasy Record Keeper, will discontinue service for the global version on September 29th, 2022 at 5 a.m. PST. No specific reasoning was given for why the service was being discontinued, but the team did also announce that sales of gems will no longer be available for purchase as of August 30th, 2022 at 5 p.m. PST. As of now, the Japanese version of the game still seems to be ongoing, with their official Twitter account not signaling anything similar to what has occurred with the game's global version. I could tell you what was happening there, but maybe we'll just wait for them. It probably has to do with it's not making money. The game was originally launched globally on March 26, 2015. That's a long fucking time ago. No one's probably playing it. And those servers are probably expensive and not basically making the company money, is how I kind of read that. Square Enix also announced a lengthy Star Ocean The Divine Force live stream. That'll be held on the 29th of June. The live stream will be about 40 minutes of length. Holy shit. And we'll begin at 12 p.m. bullshit time zone, 4 a.m. Pacific, and 7 a.m. Eastern. Square Enix blog post claims, quote, "We are planning a very intense program full of premieres." That's 40 minutes. That's a lot going on. Fall Guys official Twitter has announced that the Ultimate Knockout, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, has reached 20 million players in the first 48 hours after it became free to play. Shockingly, people still surprised that free to play invites a shit ton of players. Possibly my favorite news story of the day, Chris Pratt has said that his voice performance as Mario in the upcoming feature adaptation of the Super Mario Bros. Video game will be, quote, "unlike anything you've heard." Speaking to Variety, Chris Pratt said, quote, "I worked really closely with the directors and tried out a few things and landed on something that I'm really proud of and can't wait for people to see and hear. It's an animated voiceover narrative. It's not a live action movie. I'm not going to be wearing a plumber suit running all over. I'm providing a voice for an animated character, and it is updated and unlike anything you've heard in the Mario world before." What does updated mean? You know, like, I gotta hear that voice. I need to hear. I have to hear Chris Pratt. Like, is he gonna be doing a bad Italian impression the entire, or is it gonna be like a Brooklyn? Like, are we going back to the like? What the fuck is that voice? I gotta know. I have to know. We need to know, Chris. Release the goddamn trailer, Nintendo. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't you have a direct coming up? Do it. Put it out there. Chris Pratt, man, he's so cool. Industry insider Tom Henderson, here as we're getting into the rumor mill, has reported that sources have said that Ubisoft is preparing to reveal Skull and Bones during the week of July the 4th. Details on what will be revealed are vague, but it is understood that Ubisoft will finally confirm a release date for the long-awaited title, officially reveal gameplay, and share some other additional details. I hope that happens. I'm sure Ubisoft does too. Eve took like a pay cut, man. They got to get out there and save that poor guy's yacht. What are we doing? What's going on? The Nintendo Direct, expected to take place this next week, will reportedly focus on third-party games. That's according to experienced journalist Nacho Requena. I hope I'm not butchering your name. Editor of Spanish games magazine Manual. Or Manual, probably. Not Manual. It's Manual. You idiot. Who told viewers during a Twitch stream on Friday that he'd been told to expect new announcements from major publishers. The full quote was, quote, "We should have a Nintendo Direct this coming Tuesday," Requena stated, translated by Video Games Chronicle. I've also been told that some Persona game will be present, though I don't know which game. Also been told there will be another game that has been available for some time on other platforms It's been available for 4 years now. Huh. I wonder what that is. I guess we'll see. Monday seems like it's going to be a crazy news day. Twitter leaker, The Snitch, that's his Twitter account, twitter.com/The Snitch, who is really an industry insider who no one knows, but he's got a flawless record so far, confirming everything from Sony's recent state of play to the number of announcements throughout the entirety of the not E3 week. He's so reliable that this rumors have been, you can take anything that he tweets as confirmation. The most recent thing he tweeted was that a Kratos meme with the binary code at the bottom, which says 1111 0, 410, which means 30, hinting that we can expect a God of War Ragnarok state of play on June 30th, at least according to everyone's conspiracy theories on that. What that means for real, I don't know. We'll probably have to find out Monday alongside with all this other stuff, which is apparently supposed to happen this week. Maybe a busy end of the week here in June as, kind of the quarter is ending for a lot of these companies. We'll be there to cover it all on JPNN. Thank you so much for watching here on this Saturday. A little bit of a lengthier episode, but hey, we got it done. We bumbled through it. I hit the mic at the end. I'm wrapping this show up. Thanks for watching. Bye.